Would you look at that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Did you see the cameras? There's cameras beneath the glass. And it's a new kind of glass. It's electrochromic glass. And this is a phone that you can't buy. This is the new Oneplus Concept One. And it's the first of a kind. It's a new concept, the first one that OnePlus ever done, and they showed it here at CES 2020. It's the first time they are coming up here and they are showing us a concept phone to test the market and ask a simple question. Would you like to have your cameras hidden in plain sight with glass borrowed from a McLaren car, sunroof, or from a Boeing 787 Dreamliner? I don't know, what about that? What do you think? What we basically have here, it's a OnePlus 70 Pro McLaren with 5G on board. So all the top spec, nothing next gen on the hardware side. So you're gonna have the same amazing screen, 90 Hertz and all that, the latest processor, lots of RAM, 12 gigs of RAM and everything else. So a proper OnePlus experience from the front. But when you turn it around, you're gonna see this nice looking leather with stitching, which is at the same level of quality that you find on a McLaren sports car. And then the camera array down here. So it's under a sheet of glass. You have the OnePlus X McLaren logo in here, and then you have the OnePlus logo down here, and up here I can see the McLaren logo. So when I look at it from the side, I can barely see the round holes of the cameras, but only when you look very, very close enough. But from here, it's just a nice black sheet of glass, and that's the whole purpose of it, to make it look as clean as possible. So when you turn on the camera, you're gonna have this effect. Turn it off, and it goes dark. Works every time. So electrochromic glass, what's that? So it's a very, very thin sheet of glass that is able to turn black, but they managed to make it much thinner than you usually see it on sunroofs, on McLaren cars, or on a Boeing 787, a Dreamliner, which can turn dark instead of using a plastic shade. This is much more luxurious, of course. But the whole thing, the whole array is as thin as 0.7 millimeters. And it's actually 0.35. So it's like a third of a millimeter, and it takes 0.7 seconds to turn on and off. Let's see the camera, how fast you can see the effect. So, can you see? So whenever we turn on the camera, it's black, and then it turns right up. So I'm going to show it to you again. So it's closed. And there you have it. So there's a slight transition when you can still see a blank screen, a black screen, and then back up. It's very nice to see. It's a nice effect. So I was asking the team if they could consider using this electrochromic glass as a display technology. Maybe if you can selectively close certain areas and you can create a pattern. I don't need too many pixels to create a notification, let's say on the back. And my colleague also asked about how, if we could use it on the front. So we didn't hear about that. And it's interesting to see something very peculiar. So when you're using the front camera, you're gonna have it pop up like that. So when you turn it back, you're gonna go into electrochromic, and then the front camera is actually as fast as the electrochromic. So OnePlus is pushing the envelope on that, and it's very, very nice to see how it works. So let's talk a little about the Pro mode of the camera. I'm gonna switch to the back camera, and if I'm gonna go in here in the Pro mode, I would be able to use the ND filter. So the electrochromic glass is gonna turn a little darker depending on the light situation you're having. So when you're shooting in very bright sunlight outside, an ND filter helps. Videographers know. So ND filter on, ND8, ND filter off. And you can see the camera adjusts a little, the ISO, but you see how the ISO switches to 1600 with the ND. But if you were outside in the sunlight, you would see a lower ISO, but a less harsh light. So much better balanced image. So this is very nice to see. This is an interesting application. And it would be nice to also use it on the front screen. I don't know. What about that? What do you think about the electrochromic glass? What do you think about the concept phone? You're not going to be able to buy it, of course. So this phone without the electrochromic, it's 800 euros, but it's free with a subscription in the US. That's crazy. So Oneplus makes affordable phones and brings new technology closer day by day. But what about this? Would you like to see it on a future phone? Tell us in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more of our videos and follow us for the latest in CES 2020 and more.